Rolling in Cleveland to the lake. There's an oil barge winding down the Camhi River, rolling into Cleveland to the lake. There's an oil barge winding down the Camhi River, rolling into Cleveland to the lake. Cleveland, city of light, city of magic. Cleveland, city of light, you're calling me. Cleveland, even now I can remember, 'cause the Cuyahoga River goes smoking to my dream. Burn on, big river, burn on, burn on, big river, burn on. Now the Lord can make you tumble, the Lord can make you turn, the Lord can make you overflow. Lord can make you burn. Burn on, big river. Burn on, big river. Burn on, big river. Burn on.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Camhi, and before we begin today, I would like to have a moment of prayer, silence, in memory of our wonderful member, Francisco. So if you just be quiet for a minute and think about him, and all of those who have a cup of coffee in your hands, would you please just raise it and think about him with your cups raised. Thank you. We will miss you, Francisco. Thank you. So today, my name is Camhi again, and I'm today's service associate. Robert Barnett will be presenting our message this morning. Our opening words are an excerpt from the opening words of the 2015 General Assembly. The speaker was Reverend Clark Olson, who was a minister of the Berkling Fellowship of Unitarians at the time of the Selma Civil Rights March in 1965, when he survived an attack that fatally injured the Reverend James J. Reeb. He received the UUIA's Distinguished Service Award in 2015, and we are here today to celebrate, remember, and commit to our future. Our community extends in all directions, in time, physical distance, for those who know us, those who have known, and to myriad pioneers who doubted the common understanding of their time, as we assert our doubts in our time. May we this morning commit ourselves in body and spirit to further fulfillment of the dreams of our forebears, to the dreams of our children, and to the dreams of humankind. And so, I welcome you all, live from Fellowship Hall. It's our LCUUF Sunday service. Thank you. Our announcements were on the... Our announcements were on this. I thought I'll be a little mellow this morning in honor of Francisco. Our announcements were on a slideshow before the service, and were also sent out by email yesterday with the order of service for today. If you're new and you'd like to be receiving emails for upcoming services, please talk to a member of the welcome team or write to us at info@lcuuf.org. And now, a special welcome to our visitors. If there's anyone who's visiting us for the first time, and I know there's a few people in the audience, or anyone who is reconnecting with us from a long absence, we invite you to say your name and tell us where you're from. Larry? This one? Is there a mic over there for him?
This one's a really good one because he has a great name.
Hi, I'm Larry. I am from Maryland, and my wife and I are here for 1 week in Lake Chapala to see if this was possibly check out for the first time, whether this is the place and the community we crave to move to.
Well,
thank you. And so I am here, and my wife's at Open Circle.
welcome. Anybody else? Do we have any more new people? No one else in the room? Okay, now let's switch to Zoom. Is there anyone new with us on Zoom this morning?
Not this morning.
Okay. So, just a brief note, we offer a wide variety of services on various topics presented by our members, outside guests, as well as our minister, Reverend Matt Alspa. And I will say that his wife is going to be coming here in November, Liz Hill, and she's going to be presenting a short but very interesting workshop on the Enneagram. And now Chris knows what it is. So if anybody is interested, you'll be getting an email in a couple of weeks to hear all about it. So we hope you return to sample this variety of thought and belief. Our chalice lighting words today are by Sam Thrumbore, who's a Unitarian Universalist minister who serves the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Albany, New York. He has practiced mindfulness meditation with Insight Meditation Society in Bear, Massachusetts since 1984. Barry? Oh, I thought it was Bear. I'm from Massachusetts, but I've never been there. Okay. Larry, you want to come up and light? O light of light, be kindled again in our hearts as we meet together this morning to celebrate the joy of human community, seeking a wholeness that extends beyond ourselves. Now, let us light our chalice with these words that we sing together. Kindle this light in celebration for the light that we share. Now go light it. I thought, oh, someone's lighting. So each week we take a time to remind ourselves that we belong to a community that cares for each other. The sharing of joys, sorrows, and milestones is one way we practice holding one another in community. We speak what is in our hearts, sharing our significant joys or sorrows in our lives because there is power in the sharing. We start with the folks in the room, and then we'll give people on Zoom a chance to type their joys and sorrows. So let's start with the joys. First, let's recall the joys. Whatever you may be celebrating, whatever evokes a feeling of joy or peace for yourself or others, are there any joys that people would like to share here in the room?
I'm Trudy Crippen, and I'm really glad that I have two joys this week and a week that wasn't all that joyful. My first joy is for our member Val Markham, who is staying with Janice for 2 weeks. And I'm so grateful that we have so many good people like Val who give so much care that it's just really rewarding. And my second candle, my second joy, is for a member who has done so much that very few people know about, and it's just overwhelming, and that is Lorna Dean. Mm.
Any other joys? Colleen, one up here.
Hi, I'm Colleen Beery. I just want to have a candle lit for dear friends and family who have been very supportive of me the last week. Thank you.
Any other joys in the room?
Good morning, everybody. I've only been here a month and a half, and I have found a community in Mirasol, and we're coming together as neighbors to get things fixed. And it's just such a joy to find community. I love it. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Any more joys? Okay. Any more joys? Okay. Joys on Zoom.
Yes, I have two. First, from Devorah Kelly. I'm spending a week in Mexico City with a friend. Museums, restaurants, art in the park, and so many new things to experience. So glad to have this opportunity. And then from Kat Barnett, my joy is that I'm here in Austin, Texas with a friend I've known for over 40 years. And that's it.
Great. And that's why I'm here today, because she's in Austin. I'm taking over for her. So let's now voice our sorrows. Whatever you or the world may be holding that is in need of our healing and caring thoughts. Are there any sorrows that people would like to share here in the room today?
I'd like to ask for a candle for our dear Francisco Urzula, who died Friday morning. There will be a service here for him at the fellowship in a few weeks.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I'm Ron. I sat next to Francisco on Thursday. If I knew it was going to be the last time I was going to see him, and I would have thanked him for everything he did. It just goes to show me that I never know when I'm going to last see someone in life. There's no guarantees. No. And I just appreciate every day that I'm existing. That's all I got.
My name is Sue. I'd like to light a candle in silence.
Hi, I'm Colleen again. Please light a candle for my daughter Miriam. She's 6 months pregnant in Austin and got a terrible stomach virus and not keeping anything down. So, yeah.
Oh. Anybody else? Any more sorrows? Any sorrows to be shared on Zoom?
Yes, there's one from Christine McAuliffe. I was told last night that I need to have a pacemaker to correct my low blood pressure and heart rate before I can have the knee surgery, which is keeping me in bed. And that's it.
Okay, and this candle from our care team represents the joys and sorrows we hold in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. We light the candle for all those unspoken sorrows and joys. And let us share a moment in silence to hold in our hearts both the sorrows and the joys that we have shared this morning. And again, a special candle to Francisco, our friend. A religious community is like a river formed from the many streams of our lives that meet and merge and flow to the sea. As members and friends of LCUUF, we share our time and energy, our creativity, our imagination, vision, our talents, our skills, our gifts, and the streams of our individual lives to create a river that is both deep and broad. A river made of many streams, which sustains life and refreshes the land throughout which it flows. Remember that the river of this community also depends on our shared financial support that makes real our shared values and vision. We will now make an offer for the support of the fellowship and its work in the world. You're invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. Instructions to payment for the fellowship are on the slide during the announcements before the service every week. For those people here at the fellowship, we'll pass the basket. If you're new here or you're struggling to hold things together, let the basket pass you by. Your presence is more than enough and is a real gift to us. And while you're considering your gifts to the fellowship, remember that each month, LCUUF donates 5,000 pesos or more to an organization in our Lakeside community. We share 1/2 of the offering collected at the fellowship each week with that organization. For the month of September, we are supporting Food Bank Lakeside. Food Bank Lakeside works to relieve the chronic food poverty of our most disadvantaged neighbors, collaborating with donors, volunteers, businesses, and community organizations to ease suffering and offer the hope of a brighter future throughout the Lakeside community. If you're not attending the fellowship in person, please donate to Share the Basket when you pay your pledge. Donate to Share the Basket separately or indicate what part of your donation is for Share the Basket. The offering has now been generously given and gratefully received. Thank you. And so our opening hymn is number 348, Guide My Feet. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing. Guide my feet run this race in vain.
Search my heart
While I run this race,
search my heart
while I run this race,
search my heart
while I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race again. Our reading today is from a prayer by George E. Odell, a 19th century writer. Go ahead and connect with those seated next to you. So, hold hands or place your hands on the shoulders of your neighbors. Everybody connected in some way? We need one another. Oh, I'm going to read the plain text, and you please respond with the italicized text, okay? So, we need one another when we mourn and would be comforted. We need one another when we are in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to our best selves again. We need one another when we're in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to our best selves again. We need one another in the hour of success when we look for someone to share our triumphs. We need one another when we have come to die and would have gentle hands prepare us for the journey. All our lives are in need, and others are in need of us. Thank you. So we are going to now hear from Robert Barnett, who is going to be the presenter this morning.
Good morning. My name is Robert Barnett, and I'm your presenter today. What I'm talking about today is hope. What is hope, and can we still have hope? First, a little background. A lot of religions and historians view some past period as a golden age when all was wonderful. The Garden of Eden before sin, or the Greek world before Pandora opened the box that had all the plagues and calamities of mankind locked up. Got a couple of slides here. I sometimes wonder what our culture would look like if Adam had plucked the apple and some fellow had opened the box. The golden age of Greece and the glorious Roman Empire are often perceived wonderful times. Today, many dream of the 1950s in the U.S. as a wonderful, near-mythic time. Forget about gender and racial discrimination, pollution, threat of nuclear war, duck and cover drills, etc., etc. It was wonderful. Most of these times, mythic or real, were in the past, and they imply that at best, what follows is a grimmer, darker period. Science fiction is full of future dystopias. Blade Runner, The Hunger Games, Alas, Babylon. Our prelude, Burn On, is by Randy Newman, who I think is a fabulous songwriter. He recorded Burn On in 1972. This was after the Cuyahoga River caught fire in 1969. What most don't know is that the river had caught fire at least a dozen times before. It was a common occurrence on American rivers, especially in the Midwest and the Northeast, as there were essentially no laws about dumping pollutants. The 1969 fire barely made the local news, and there are no pictures from that fire. Pictures in archives are all from earlier fires. Newspaper reports show the river caught fire in 1868, 1868, 1883, 1887, 1912, 1922, 1936, 1941, 1948, and 1952. Lesser fires didn't even make the news. That's from the 1952 fire. And it wasn't just industrial pollutant. This is after a bunch had been pulled out. Rachel Carson had written Silent Spring in 1962 about the effects of DDT on the environment. At that time, there were around 400 nesting bald eagles in the lower 48 states of the U.S. Other top predator birds were in the same or worse shape. The population bomb had been written by Paul and Ann Ehrlich. It came out in 1968, predicting starvations of hundreds of millions in the mid-1970s. I read Silent Spring and the population bomb as a teenager, and I suspect many of us here did as well. Hope, I was ready to be filled with despair. In my freshman year in college, I took a class called Politics of Thermonuclear Warfare. It was not a hopeful class. Sometimes it seems we have had a constant drumbeat for a half century or more that things are hopeless, and it seems to be accelerating. Don Grant, PhD, is president of the American Psychological Association's Division 46. Don't ask me about the others, which is the Society for Media, Psychology, and Technology. He says that many of the teens and young adults he has worked with, both through his Newport Academy Treatment Center and his Los Angeles-based private practice, are experiencing a stress that is directly related to the news they have learned about through social media and more traditional outlets. Recent research studying news and seeking and emotional responses has found that more exposure to the latest headlines, whether through traditional outlets or highlighted on social media, can undercut your mental health. So can we even have hope? Part of the problem is we may not have a good understanding of what hope is. The Oxford Dictionary defines hope as grounds for believing something good will happen. Up in Oklahoma, of all places, University of Oklahoma Hope Research Center at Tulsa studies hope on a scientific basis. Their work includes working with nonprofits on how to define what hope is, how to measure it, and how to instill it in individuals, especially women and children survivors of abuse. So I'd like us to look at some of their recommendations. Chad Hellman is professor at the Ann and Henry Zara School of Social Work, say that quickly, and director of the Hope Research Center, which takes a different tack on what hope is. He says, hope is the belief that tomorrow will be better than today and that you have the power to make it so. He explains it is a fundamental element of our capacity to live life well. An excerpt from his book, Hope Rising, How the Science of Hope Can Change Your Life, states, hope is not just an idea. Hope is not simply an emotion. It is far more than a feeling. It is not a wish or even an expectation. Hope is about goals, willpower, and pathways. A person with high hope has goals, the motivation to pursue them, and the determination to overcome obstacles and find pathways to achieve them. He makes the point that we confuse hope with wishing. I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow is simply a wish. You have no control over the weather. Contrast these two ideas from his book. Wishful people don't have any goals or critical thinking going on to help them make their future better. Hopeful people are willing to work for their better future. Hope is the belief that the future will be better and you've got the power to make it so. It's based on three main ideas: desirable goals, pathways to achieve goal attainment, and agency, which he defines as willpower to pursue those pathways. The center breaks being hopeful into three parts. Goals. Goals that motivate behavior can exist in short or long term, but they have to meet certain criteria. Potentially attainable, clearly articulated, and measurable. Pathways represent a mental roadmap allowing us to consider multiple strategies that will lead to the desired outcome. Viable pathways are within the person's capacity to pursue and are developed with a plan of success. In this manner, hopeful people can identify potential barriers with workable solutions, and they possess the ability to change to alternative pathways when needed. Comparatively, low-hope people experience difficulty in managing barriers and in their ability to develop alternate pathways. Sorry, the screen stopped for a second. Finally, we've got agency. Remember I said that is willpower. It refers to the capacity to exert mental energy to the pursuit of a pathway. Hopeful individuals are able to exhibit self-control, regulate beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors during their goal pursuits, especially while experiencing stress and adversity. Hellman places hope on a continuum with 4 waypoints. Hope is at the top. Rage, he notes that anger and rage are not necessarily enemies of hope, but arise naturally when goals and expectations are not met. They can be used as a tool to refocus hope. Despair occurs when alternatives fail and the goal cannot be adjusted. Apathy, which is at the bottom, hopelessness, is the absence of any motivation or goals. So, can we have hope? Remember, it requires goals, pathways, and agency. So here are some signs of hope, all created by people who refuse to fall into despair and apathy. Notice what I did cut out was rage. One of the things he talks about is using rage as a tool a lot. The fires on the Cuyahoga River led in part to the Clean Water Act in 1972. Current plans for the river, I went and looked this up. They're putting more shops, restaurants, and hotels on the riverfront. They're going to make it look like the San Antonio Riverwalk by the time they're finished. The EPA has listed restrictions on eating fish from the river. The river is regularly used for water sports, and the water now meets the standard for drinking. It still has issues with pollution, particularly E. coli after major storm runoffs, but it's no longer catching fire. Rachel Carson's work led to the EPA, the Environmental Policy Act, also in 1972. Currently, there are around 320,000 bald eagles in the lower 48, up from less than 500 when she was published. Peregrine falcons have come back to the point that they were removed from the federal endangered species list in 1999. The population bomb hasn't gone off yet. Current world population is around 8 billion. It's still rising, but most of the countries of the world outside Africa and some of South Asia are below replacement of 2.1 children per woman. Population is expected to peak at around 12 billion sometime near 2050, and then slowly decline. There have been no famines since the advent of the Green Revolution that were not man-made. The WHO states that the number of people malnourished has dropped steadily, with a growing problem worldwide being obesity. There is enough food, it's not distributed well. In the last 2 centuries, worldwide, life expectancy has gone from 30 years to 72 years. It's doubled. Right? Look at any country, go back to 1823 and look at 2023 and look at the life expectancy. All of these took hope. Individuals and groups over the years taking action, not wishing. Does that mean everything's going well? No. We just had the hottest summer worldwide in recorded human history, and it looks like it's going to end up being the hottest year. We're in the midst of the 6th mass extinction, and humans are the primary causes of both of these events. In Ukraine, we've got an old-style war of conquest, something that's hardly been seen since the end of the Second World War. Taiwan is threatened daily. So where should we be on that 4 points continuum? Apathy, despair, rage, or hope? Remember, to be at the top level, hope requires we establish goals, determine pathways, and take agency. Start by reducing that drumbeat of negative news. Bad news sells newspapers, so the news is usually negative. To help patients cope in a world where news is omnipresent, psychologists with media expertise advise practicing dietary media restriction and take steps to process and right-size the news in their personal lives. Doom scrolling, what a wonderful word our kids have come up with. Does it encourage hope? It encourages despair. They also recommend that if the news surrounding climate change is weighing a person down, that you can get more active in a local nonprofit or an organization to address the climate crisis. Write letters, send money. Remember that hope in the context of the Hope Center is an active word. It's not passive. Wishing will not further any of these. Hope, used as the verb, which is how Dr. Hellman uses it, can. Want to increase your hope? Take action. Go out, be hopeful. Blessed be.
Thank you, Robert. Our closing song is Don't Stop by Fleetwood Mac. If any of you want to get up and dance, please do so. We can sing along as well, and we can all hope. So here's the song. I never meant to harm to you, so don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be better. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be better, better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Don't you look back. Ooh, don't you look back. That was fun. So don't look back. Let's look at tomorrow and let's hope. It's good. Our closing words are by Reverend Allison Miller, who has served as a senior minister of the Morristown Unitarian Fellowship since 2005. Again, these are words from the 2015 General Assembly. May a spirit of love and creativity flow in us and among us and through us, so that we may become authors, one and all, of a today, a tomorrow, and a tomorrow, when our faith emboldens us to embrace changes that give rise to life, to take risks that make love visible in our world, and to celebrate every fragment of wholeness and holiness that comes our way. So let us extinguish our chalice with these words which we read together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts and share with all the world. Our postlude is All Will Be Well. I love this song. The words and music are from Meg Barnhouse, who's an author, musician, and a minister serving the Unitarian Universalist Church in Spartanburg, South Carolina. This moving song is about the visions that Christian mystic and anchorite Julian of Norwich got in a time of darkness and pain. God is a mother holding us together, promising all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. She wrote these words during the times of the Black Death in England, which saw the death of 40 to 60% of the population in a year's time. I invite you to join in singing the chorus. It's all coming.
I said, Julian, you are holy.
You are holding my hand. Julian, you are holding my hand. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well.
I said, Julian, do you not know about sorrow? And Julian, do you not know
of pain? And she said, Julian, do you not know about dollar? And Julian, do you not know about shame? She said, all will be well, and all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian,
do you not know about loneliness? And Julian, do you not know about disease? And I said, Julian, do you not know about cruelty? I said, Julian, it's too much, it brought me to my knees. She said, all will be well,
all will be well, all manner of things will be well. She said, no.
She said, no one does not know about sorrow, and no one does not know about pain. She said, no one does not know about hunger, no one does not know about shame. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things
will be well. She said, no one does not know about loneliness, and no one does not know about disease. No one does not know does not know about cruelty. She said, no, no, it's too much. It brought me to my knees when I heard, I'll think, well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well.
I said, Julia, you're holy.
You're holy, my hand. You, Julian, you're holy. You're holding my hand. She said, all will be well. All will be well. All manner of things do be well.
She said, baby girl, do you not know about
Tenderness and baby girl, do you not know about friends? She said, Dobie, do you not know about the Spirit? She said, baby, do you not know it's the only love that ends? All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well.
all will be well.
All will be well, all manner of things will be well. Great way of ending. Our worship is over. Our service begins. Go in peace and with a purpose. Thank you, everyone.